I'm going to bring you some breaking news now. And Russia's president has apologized to the president of Azerbaijan for an incident in Russian airspace involving an Azerbaijan Airlines passenger plane, which crashed on Wednesday. 38 people died when that plane, destined for Grozny in Russia, came down in neighboring Kazakhstan. Earlier, the US said it had indications that Russian air defense systems were responsible for downing the plane. Let's go to Dorsa Jabari, who's standing by for us in Moscow. So, Dorsa, just tell us more about what we're hearing from the Kremlin.
Well, according to a readout of the phone conversation that took place between Russian President Vladimir Putin and the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, the conversation surrounded the Russian president first saying that he was apologizing for the fact that this incident happened over Russian airspace. He did not acknowledge any role Russian military or Russian forces would have had in shooting down possibly this plane, but he did say that he was sorry that it happened over Russian airspace. Then he went on to offer his condolences to the families of the 38 people that lost their lives in this crash. The Russian president also highlighted the fact that the two countries are now working together. The information we got from the readout of this phone conversation was that two prosecutor general members from the Azerbaijan Prosecutor General Office are in Grozny at the moment, working with their Russian counterpart to continue the investigation that has gotten underway after this plane crash happened on December 25th. And we are also understand that the Russian officials continue to investigate the incident. And we have heard from various Russian officials, the one being the head of the Russian Civil Aviation Agency. He said that the situation in Chechnya is very complicated due to Ukrainian drone strikes in the region that have been increasing over the past few weeks. And that is why, reportedly, this passenger plane was not allowed to land in Grozny, and it had to travel away from that area across the Caspian and land in Kazakhstan, where it crashed. So there is a lot of questions remaining, but it's clear that the Russian president acknowledging for the first time that this incident took place over Russian airspace, but coming short from admitting the possibility that the Russian military had any part in bringing it down.
Indeed, an acknowledgement rather than an admission of guilt. How serious is this incident for Putin and for Russia diplomatically?
Well, it's very serious, especially given the timing of the incident. We're at a point now where we've seen an increase of drone strikes and attacks from the Ukrainian forces onto Russian territory. And we have seen particularly the area of Grozny in Chechnya coming under intense attack. That is where, of course, the forces belonging to Kadyrov have been basically based, and they are part of the units fighting in Ukraine. So they have come under direct attack by the Ukrainian forces increasingly over the past few weeks. And now we saw the results of really possibly one of those attacks being a civilian airline being caught in the middle. These kinds of attacks have increased across Russia. And what we are now seeing after 3 years of this conflict that began in February of 2022, more and more the civilian population within Russia feeling for the very first time since the conflict began, really, the brunt and the realities of a country now at war.
All right, Dorsa, thanks for that. Dorsa Jabari reporting there from Moscow after Russia's president apologizes to the president of Azerbaijan for an incident in Russian airspace, not a direct admission of guilt. Dorsa, thank you.